everyone. India recently announced its 100th Ramsar site. It was a moment of recognition, a momentous occasion for India, and it was no other than Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, announcing India's 100th Ramsar site. The Jayaprakash Narayan Bird Sanctuary, or the Surhar Tal, was officially designated as the 100th Ramsar site of India. Now, what we need to understand, the Surhar Tal was created in 1991 by consolidating land from 45 villages in Basti, Balia district. It was renamed as Jayaprakash Narayan Bird Sanctuary in 2002. Now, the point to understand is what are wetlands. Wetlands वो जगह होती है जहां पर पानी रुका रहता है, बारिश का पानी रुकता है वो बह जाता है, पर wetlands वो जगह होती है जहां पर पानी रुका रहता है. If we try understanding, हम लोगों को marsh समझ में आता है, marshy lands, we understand mangroves. Sundarbans would be India's largest mangroves ecosystems that are there. ठीक है? So, as per the Ramsar Convention, the definition of wetlands goes as areas of marsh, fen, peatland, or water, whether natural or artificial, permanent or temporary, with water that is static or flowing, brackish or salty, including areas of marine water, the depth of which at low tide does not exceed 6 meters. That means we are talking in terms of shallow water bodies. Now, when we look at India, India has narrowed down the definition of wetlands. It excludes river channels, paddy fields, areas of commercial cultivation, or human-made water bodies which are used for commercial purposes or human purposes. It is not for birds, it is not for growing of plants. All these areas have been excluded. Now, what we need to understand, the Ramsar Convention, it happened at the city of Ramsar in Iran. It came into force in 1975. India became a signatory to it in 1982. It is the world's first intergovernmental agreement focused exclusively on a single ecosystem type, wetlands. Now, wetlands are extremely important. They play a significant role in preserving the biodiversity. They act as carbon sinks. They act as natural barriers to floods. So, it is important that we preserve wetlands for the sake of humanity. Now, let's try understanding a few key ideas. In the UK, if we look across, the maximum number of wetlands at 176. Mexico, we are talking at 144. India is third in terms of the number of wetlands, 100. India is also the largest in Asia in terms of wetlands. Now, let's understand why are wetlands important. They act as a key wintering stop for the migratory birds on the Central Asian flyway. When we talk in terms of wetlands in India, they are a biodiversity hotspot. 6% of the world's area is covered by wetlands, but they preserve 40% of the biodiversity of the world. They are natural water regulation systems. As the floods or the river waters move through these wetlands, the flow of these waters is slowed down. As a result, they deposit a lot of their sediment. Secondly, because rivers today are polluted by a lot of industrial effluents, the root systems of the trees, they absorb the nitrogen, the phosphorus from the waters that are flowing, and they purify the waters of this heavy metals. Next, if we look across, these wetlands are also breeding grounds for a lot of marine species, specifically fishes. Now, these fishes, they eat away the microbes and the microorganisms that would be present in the water bodies as it flows through the wetlands, thus purifying the water of the microorganisms. Now, climate role, when we look at, they are wonderful carbon sinks. When we say wonderful carbon sinks, it's an ecosystem in itself. The trees that grow in these wetlands, they absorb a lot of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, one. Second, when these trees die, they do not release the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere just as it happens in the jungles. But since they are waterlogged, the oxygen flow is limited or restricted because they are hydric soils. waterlogged soils. As a result, the decomposition is very, very slow. So they are massive carbon sinks. They'll store a lot of carbon. So destroying wetlands releases a lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So we should be very mindful when we talk in terms of reclaiming land from wetlands. Another important idea that we need to understand, the eastern Kolkata wetlands, they are one of the finest examples in the world of natural filtration systems or natural water purification systems. The water from the river Ganga or the river Hooghly flows through these wetlands, purifying the water of the sediments, the microbes, and the heavy metals. And then the water is then reclaimed and then processed and sent to different parts of West Bengal. These are points that we have already covered. Now, this is something of importance for all those of you who are preparing for different entrance examinations. The largest wetland in India happens to be the Sundarbans. Sundarbans happens to be in West Bengal. The Renuka wetlands in Sirmaur, Himachal Pradesh is the smallest. It occupies only an area of 20 hectares. The first Ramsar sites in India were the Chilka Lake. Chilka Lake is Odisha, followed by the Kaladio National Park that happens to be in Rajasthan. Bular Lake in Jammu Kashmir is the largest freshwater wetland in India. Brackish lagoon, when I say brackish waters are those waters or areas where the seawater and the river water intermix. Those waters would be called as brackish waters. Sambar Lake also happens to be a saline wetland. Now, Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest. It's a brackish estuarine ecosystem. Estuarine ecosystem primarily means wherein deltas are not being able to form, or the rivers are not able to deposit enough sediment for the formation of deltas, and what results is primarily an estuary. Fine. The Sundarbans also happen to be the habitat of the Royal Bengal tiger, and the Sundarbans, because of the mangroves that grow, that protect the coast from the cyclones or the impact of the cyclones. So a lot of places we are talking about developing mangrove forests so that the impact of floods and cyclones across the border states of India or the coastal states of India can be reduced. So what we need to understand, wetlands are important. Every wetland protected is a flyway kept alive. Hope you enjoyed this short video on wetlands. If you have liked the video, do subscribe to the channel. Thank you.